is I'm going to show you how to make your first flashcard in Anki. So to start, you're going to hit add at the top of the menu. And so there's a couple ways that you can do this. So the first thing that you're going to look at is actually the type of flashcard. I personally prefer the basic with optional reverse card. The reason being it adds a little bit of flexibility because it'll give you the choice of making the backside the question and then the front side the answer. So for example, if you wanted to say something like capital of France, right, and then Paris, right, you could say, if it was a regular card, this would be the question, and then this would be the answer. If you have a reverse card, what it would show you is actually the back first. So all it would show you is Paris, and then the answer would be capital of France. And so you can see how that would be actually a useful option for certainly some kinds of information where you might have to know the information in both directions, meaning I might have to know first, hey, what's the capital of France? But I also might need to know that Paris is the capital of France. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is how to make the most useful kinds of flashcards. And so a typical flashcard that you're going to see is going to look something like this. It would be like, what is the presentation of an epidural hematoma? And in the back, I'm actually going to take the first aid description from one of the versions of first aid, and I'm just going to show you what sort of is typically seen in a flashcard like this. And so just to show you, so for example, this would be what I would use possibly for the back. Okay, so this would be, so say that would be the presentation, might present with transient loss of consciousness, recovery, where there's a lucid interval, and then rapid deterioration due to hematoma expansion. How can we make this better? Now, there's a couple ways that we can make our flashcards better. The first is what we call using a hyphen. So a hyphen allows you to be like this. I would use a hyphen here. So I would take the topic, and I'd put it here, and I would put simply the question that I'm asking afterwards. Okay, so already you can see that it's much more clear what I'm asking. I'm saying epidural hematoma presentation. Not only is it shorter, but it's also more clear, which when you're doing maybe 5 or 10 flashcards in a day won't make that much of a difference. But now imagine doing hundreds of flashcards per day, every single day, which at my peak, that was what I was doing. The small differences in time that it takes you to read your card makes a huge difference overall. Okay, so the first tip that you can use is to use what we call a hyphen. The second tip that you can do is actually to try to combine facts together that are logically related. And so for this, let's say we've got epidural hematoma, right? Another thing that someone might do would be to say something like this. Epidural hematoma, this would be one card. So for example, the front of the card might be something like this. And then I would hit add here at the bottom. And if I want, so that this would be the back. Okay. And so if I wanted to add a reverse card, I could just type Y for yes here, and then I would just put a condition. So that way, let me show you what this would look like. I would hit add. And then if I look at this card, I can see if I preview it, we've got the front of the card says epidural hematoma presentation, and the back would show you might present with transient loss of consciousness, recovery, lucid interval, rapid deterioration due to hematoma expansion. And then it would say condition, right? But we would know that that was not relevant for the answer. This was actually just for the reverse card. And then if I saw the reverse card, it would be this, right? It shows me the presentation of the condition, and then it just prompts me to ask what the condition is. And so again, for a lot of topics, this ability to add reverse cards is very, very useful. Okay, so the second tip that we just discussed is how to add reverse cards. Now, the next tip that I want to discuss is one that actually can make a big difference in the number of cards that you're doing and the depth of learning that you have for those topics. This involves making logical connections between the different facts that you're putting into your flashcards. So we already said before, we've got epidural hematoma, and then we also have, we can say presentation, or we could say epidural hematoma, we can say, oopsies, presentation, or we would say epidural hematoma, we could say pathophysiology. But what if instead we said something like this? We said epidural hematoma, use the pathophysiology to explain the presentation. This is the kind of card that we teach in our program, which helps people to not only understand things at a deeper level, but also to basically have the number of cards that they need to make because they're connecting relevant things together. So as an example, here I have set up, this would be the pathophysiology, and this is the presentation according to first aid. What I'm trying to do next is I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I connect these facts together? Is there a way that I can try to explain how the pathophysiology would relate to the presentation. Now, obviously you can't always do this, but you should always try. And the reason is that you'll be able to remember it better, you'll use the information more effectively, and when they change the details that you're going to see on your test, you're going to get them right more often. So I'm going to try to connect these facts together. Now, the fact that this is the middle meningeal artery, right? The fact that it's an arterial source of blood plays into this, right? Because there is a high pressure in the arterial system that is going to lead to a faster expansion of blood in the skull, which then again, it makes sense why you would have this rapid deterioration due to the hematoma expansion. My guess is, and again, this is just a guess, but my guess is that the reason why there's this transient loss of consciousness is that the amount of trauma necessary to damage the middle meningeal artery is going to be higher, right? Because it's an artery, so it has a pretty thick elastic layer as opposed to veins, which tend to be more fragile. And so that initial trauma may cause problem with consciousness because, again, you have this problem of actual trauma to the brain. If you're a medical student or a doctor preparing for either the USMLEs or COMLEX or one of your medical board exams, then be sure to sign up for our free 14-step program where we'll walk you through the most efficient ways for you to improve your score in a short period of time. And if you're interested in getting there faster, be sure to book a free call with our team where we'll break down what it is that's holding you back and, if it makes sense, explain how it is that we can help you to get there more efficiently.